Did you see JD Vance's response to the shooting?
I saw bits and pieces of his speech yesterday, yes.
Okay, I'm going to share this response, and then I just want a quick response from you, and then we're going to move on to the next one, because he had some very strong words, and I think it's worth playing.
And they said that immigration enforcement, you know what they said? That immigration enforcement had detained a 5-year-old autistic girl in order to get to that girl's father. Turned out that story was a complete fabrication. It was a complete dishonest lie. But when you go around and lie about our law enforcement and you tell them that they're mistreating 5-year-old girls, what do you think is going to happen? When Democratic politicians incur doxing, when they encourage us to unmask ICE enforcement officers, what do you think is going to happen? When the mayor of Los Angeles encourages violent protesters to get in the face of our law enforcement, what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen is political violence, and political violence has gotten out of control in this country. We got to stop it. We got to condemn it. And that starts, unfortunately, at the very top of the Democratic Party. If you want to stop political violence, stop attacking our law enforcement as the Gestapo. If you want to stop political violence, stop telling your supporters that everybody who disagrees with you is a Nazi. If you want to stop political violence, look in the mirror. That's the way that we stop political violence in this country, and we've got to do it. And while we're all mourning and rooting for and praying for everybody who was injured at that ICE facility, and as far as we know, it looks like some of the detainees, in other words, some of the potential illegal aliens, were some of those who were affected. Look, just because we don't support illegal aliens, we don't want them to be executed by violent assassins engaged in political violence either. So we're praying both for our ICE agents, but also for everybody who's affected by this terrible attack. But that was an ICE facility. And as these guys behind me know, and a few of our police officers know, police officers writ large face too many threats.
So that was what he had to say. He actually, I thought I had the other clip where he had said something along the lines of, where he called out like Gavin Newsom specifically and other leaders. And he was like, I cannot remember what he said. Do you remember what he said? Have you seen the clip that I'm talking about?
I read the clip because someone was very mad that the vice president was saying such things, that if you support attacks on law enforcement, you can go straight to hell.
Yes, that was what it was.
And that followed, I was listening to it with my almost 18-year-old. And then also on Twitter.
Yeah, he called someone.
Jon Favreau is a left-wing commentator. And after JD Vance had said the obsessive attack on law enforcement, particularly ICE, must stop. I'm praying for everyone hurt in the attack and for their families. And this lefty said the vice president is not a reliable source of information. This is now the 5th or 6th time he's posted a political take contradicted by facts from his own law enforcement agencies. And JD Vance, I'm going to keep it PG because I don't want to have a censor on this, but he said the gunman had anti-ICE messaging carved on the bullets he used. What precisely did I get wrong, Dip? And I laughed, honestly, because that is all of us. All of us are so sick we are overusing the word gaslighting, but it is so appropriate in every single circumstance. People are lying to us and telling us what we see, hear, and experience is not actually happening, and that the sky is really yellow and not blue. And all of us are JD Vance. He just says the thing, and I gotta be honest, I appreciate a leader with a little fire in his belly. He is not here
now,
to play.
and especially after such a long history of wishy-washy Republicans are like, well,
it makes. I mean, what was Pence like? He was very boring. What did we do before this? I mean, it's very entertaining, but he's not wrong. Everything he said was in that clip and everything he says here is true. There's nothing anti-factual about it. So I don't know. I appreciate his candor and that he just literally kind of says what we all want to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I completely agree with you. And then you have to I get a little frustrated because then you're like, oh yeah, was that productive though? Do you know what I mean? It's I would speak that way. And then I question to myself, was that productive? But then also at the same time, but
nothing is productive. We can't talk.